The Arctic Research Station was nestled deep in the frozen tundra, isolated from civilization and surrounded by miles of endless ice. It was the dead of winter, and the sun had not risen for weeks, leaving the scientists in complete darkness. Despite the isolation and the harsh conditions, the team had been working tirelessly on their research, studying the effects of climate change on the Arctic ecosystem. But something was lurking in the shadows, and it wasn't just the bone-chilling cold. It started with strange noises coming from the ice fields outside the station. The scientists tried to ignore them, dismissing them as the sounds of shifting ice or the wind howling through the barren landscape. But then the power began to flicker, and the communication systems went dead. Panic set in as the team realized they were completely cut off from the rest of the world. One night, as the team huddled in the main research room, they heard something scratching at the door. At first, they thought it was just the wind, but then they heard a low growl, and the scratching became more urgent. The scientists scrambled to barricade the door with furniture and equipment, but it was too late. The door burst open, and a shadowy figure lunged into the room. It was unlike anything they had ever seen before. It was humanoid, but its skin was a sickly shade of blue, and its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light. It moved with a grace and speed that defied the laws of physics, darting around the room and leaping over obstacles with ease. The scientists were paralyzed with fear, unable to comprehend what they were seeing. The creature seemed to be hunting them, stalking them through the station and picking them off one by one. Some tried to fight back, but their weapons had no effect on the monster. It was as if it was impervious to physical harm, and its attacks were always swift and deadly. As the days wore on, the survivors began to realize that the creature was not alone. They heard strange whispers in the wind, and sometimes they caught glimpses of shadowy figures lurking outside the windows. They tried to keep themselves warm and fed, but their supplies were dwindling, and the creature seemed to be toying with them, preventing them from leaving the safety of the station. In the end, only a handful of the scientists remained, huddled together in the dark, waiting for the inevitable. They had no way to escape, no way to call for help, and no hope of surviving the frozen hell that had become their prison. And as the creature closed in for the final kill, they knew that they had made a terrible mistake coming to this forsaken place, and that they would never be leaving it alive.